Hey Bonnie from Five Nights at Freddy's, I like Hazbin Hotel.
Hazbin Hotel? More like Hazbin Home Hotel.
Howdy there, and welcome to today's episode of The Discussion. Today we'll be looking at the internet pilot Hazbin Hotel that came out in October 28, 2019. Created by the YouTuber Viviziepop. This is pretty much the juggernaut god of both animation and adult humor that has of course sparked some controversy, which we are not gonna go over this video. So, if you don't know, Hazbin Hotel is kind of something that's been going on for a couple of years now by a team of non-professional animators, artists, cleanup artists, voice actors, and etc. etc. And these people spend a lot of their time doing this animation, even if it's 31 minutes long and there are some mistakes or line inconsistencies. You gotta admit, though, that this is kind of one of the biggest projects that YouTube's probably ever seen for quite a while when it comes to animation besides storytime animation collaborations. But some of it has been stretched comparing this team of non-professional project makers to shows like Steven Universe, or saying that all the characters are bad or evil or somehow reflect Viviziepop being homophobic herself, even though it's hell and they are bad characters. But like I said, that's all irrelevant to today because we are only just going to be covering the pilot and the pilot alone. Now let's just get our anti-crosses and jump into the rabbit hellhole of Hazbin Hotel. Spoilers though, because you can see this pilot online on YouTube and it is like 31 minutes or so, but it contains swearing, violence, and gore. But if you don't care about any of that stuff, then go watch it. But I'm gonna be spoiling the whole thing right now. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, then I warned you. This episode begins somberly with a girl who will eventually learn is named Charlie, singing about her trying to chase rainbows or hope in a sea of doubt, which is also known as hell, where she was born at. If you think about it, this scene actually kind of has a bigger contribution to the rest of this episode because Charlie tries so desperately to get everyone's attention, and I'll elaborate a little more when we get into that part. But there's pretty nice visuals because it kind of looks like cutout animation when you actually look at how they're animated and how they move. Eventually, it closes out as the yearly demon extinction resets. And that brings us to Hazbin Hotel. Dead opening. A Lex steps out of a car and we get introduced to Angel Dust, a gay feminine looking spider who is a male who did a little job slash side, cash deal with some rando for some, money. The guy drives off after calling her a derogatory word, and then Angel gets some drugs and gets robbed, and the robber is then crushed by a rock, and then Angel is sad because their drugs, got crushed. And then we get introduced to another character called Serpentius, I think that's his name. Snake Boy, and leading an army of Egg Boys, that's their names, who are taking over some land after the extermination. You see, the extermination basically left every territory of most demons open so that anybody could take it, so now everyone's fighting for it. And then it's all interrupted by another character who's sort of minor slash major, named Cherry, also known as Cherry Bomb. Soon after, we cut to the next scene, the interview. So we cut to two news hosts, Katie Killjoy and Tom Trench, talking about the fight between Snake Boy and Cyclops Girl, and also the Egg Boys. As chaos and destruction ensues and the tagline scrolls by, we also spot another story that's hilarious in it. And then after that, and the interview's over, we cut to Charlie again and her girlfriend Daggy, because they're lesbian, talking a bit and giving some advice to each other, such as Charlie trying to not sing and trying to stay on the script that they made so that way they can convince everybody that their idea is the most greatest thing in the world. You'll soon learn that is probably the most worst idea ever. But when Charlie introduces herself to Katie Killjoy, she makes a remark that most people would probably find offensive.
You can put that away. I don't touch the gays. I have standards.
Yeah? How's that working out for you?
Look,
Notice how Charlie looks at the sign behind her because she knows it doesn't even lead anywhere good, as she has just answered her own question. But back to the interview, Charlie brings up how the demons being exterminated is heartbreaking to her because she's been born in hell. And although, while yes, they are bad people, they are practically her people because she's the princess. So she wants to open a place to rehabilitate sinners called the Happy Hotel so that they can redeem them and they can go to heaven in quotation marks. And the response is, no one believes her, so she decides to eventually almost give up, but then she sings, and I love it. I'm not going to go over the whole song, but it's a 9 out of 10 for me.
I have a dream. I'm here to tell about a wonderful, fantastic new hotel. Yes, it's one of a kind, right here in hell, catering to a specific clientele. Inside of every demon is a rainbow. Inside every sinner is a shiny smile. Inside of every creepy hatchet-wielding maniac is a jolly, happy, cupcake-loving child. We can turn around. They'll be heaven-bound with just a little time down at the Happy Hotel.
And everyone is speechless.
Wow! That was shit.
No one liked it. Killjoy even mocks Charlie because she says that no one would even care about being a better person just because But she says that it works because they have a person enrolled in it, Angel Dust. And then the most ironic / coincidental thing happens with the broadcast opening again during the turf war, and they have Angel Dust in the fight. And Killjoy mocks her even more, and because of an accident, Charlie says,
Yeah, well, how does it feel that I got your pen, huh? Bitch!
and then things go chaotic from there. Turf war. We see Cherry and Angel fighting the Egg Boys, talking about how unfun the hotel was for him because he vanished for like 2 weeks and so. And then we lead to this popular scene during the fight.
Oh, harder, Daddy! Son!
And then it goes on more with them messing with Sir Pentious with sexual jokes that he probably doesn't understand, mostly by Angel Dust, which are kind of hilarious. That ends with every character in chaos. The limo ride. After the fights, Vaggie argues with Angel in the limousine about her actions that ruined their reputation at the news station and what they're gonna do about it. Angel says that she was just doing this to keep her reputation clean because, well, nobody should see them clean because, well, they're a gay porn star. Charlie does have some hope, though, that things will get better soon, but Vaggie is kind of doubtful because of how everybody laughed at them and how overall Angel made them look pretentious. Back to the hotel. When all three of them get inside, Vaggie grunts to herself and just goes on the couch just to, be angry. Angel gets a popsicle and Charlie sits down and kind of reminisces a bit, and she's kind of sad. Angel's reaction is, well, I'll just show you.
In this place, to feed all the wayward souls you got in here.
Charlie goes outside to talk with her mom, crying that her dream isn't a reality and maybe that her dad was right, that she's probably a failure. But she heads back inside and then there's a knock. She opens it to see a new character to the mix, the radio demon, also known as Alistair. Mr. Smiles. She lets him in after some thought, even though Vaggie is hesitant, and eventually he's met with hostility from Vaggie, but his intentions are positive, despite the fight almost threatening them. He wants to help for his entertainment because he's bored. While they talk, Vaggie tells Angel who he is since he doesn't know who he is because he's not into politics, eventually remarking that he's a strawberry pimp. Vaggie warns Charlie about this deal and not trying to make him mess up everything that they've been working for, but she assures her she's fine and takes up Alistair's offered help. Assistance required. Alistair asks where the staff are, but they don't even have any staff besides Vaggie, so then we get this known line.
And what can you do, my effeminate fellow?
I can suck your dick.
Ha! No.
Your loss.
He then summons some helpers like Nifty, a very tidy Cyclops girl, and a grunchy Varys cat, also known as Husk, to help out. Charlie approves of them, and we get a musical from Alistair that's rudely interrupted by Sir Pentious. Comeback. He nearly destroys all of them, but Alistair easily destroys him with his demonic powers, just basically crushing all of him and his egg boys in his ship, and the nuke too. It all ends with Alistair remarking happily about this new start and saying who wants some Chimalaya, as they all walk back to the happy, or rather, Hazbin Hotel. And now is the part where I talk about how I feel about it. So, I wouldn't say I love Hazbin Hotel, but I would say it's actually pretty good, like maybe 9 out of 10. So some scenes and lines on characters mostly seem thinner than usual, or they seem way too thicker, such as the scene where Baggy's talking to Charlie about Alistair, or when Alistair is basically talking to Angel Dust. The lines look a little thicker or thinner, so it kind of looks off, but it actually kind of looks pretty stylish, I guess, if I want to call it that. I don't know, just looks off. But anyway, though, it's mostly just because it's a multi-animator project. But the humor is good in terms of it being dark and violent. It isn't for people who are sensitive or people who think, haha, cuss word is funny, I laughed, because people, say that adult humor is not exactly the same as regular cartoon humor, which is true, but in the sense that adult cartoon and humor is made for adult cartoon humor. It's not for people who are, just overly serious of everything. It's a pilot, so of course these characters are going to be explored upon later on, hopefully. But then again, though, as we're seeing it right now, with their spin-off has Hell of a Boss, that's getting more episodes, so I'm not sure whether or not we're going to have Hazbin Hotel 2 or 3. Probably not, maybe in the future, I don't know. This took like years to make, so probably in like 2030 or something, in 10 years we'll probably get episode 2, or a network will pick it up. So there's that, in hopes for a new Hazbin Hotel episode. But I think I just kind of like the pilot overall. Like, I would watch it again and again. It's not like I would get tired of it. It's not like I hate it either. I'm not gonna praise it, but I'm just gonna say that most of the hate for it is kind of stupid, especially when people compare it to shows like I mentioned earlier, Steven Universe, that's made by a team of people and is already on a new season or show. Like, I don't know why we needed that. We didn't need it at all. It's kind of stupid if you think about it. But overall, though, Hazbin Hotel, 9 out of 10. Would I defend it? Maybe. Possibly. I usually do that. If you had to ask me my favorite character, Angel Dust. No questions asked. I love the Skate Spider, but not too much to make this very cringe thing.
Rar, X3 nozzles pounces on you. Ooh, you so warm. Couldn't help but notice your boat from across the floor.
So, that's Hazbin Hotel, a pilot of a demon princess trying to give chances and redemption to others so they aren't terminated by angels every year, which is kind of one of the more symbolic / darker things. And Viviziepop is, well, busy with other projects, kind of like Hell of a Boss right now, and also certain other animations like the Christmas one. But before we close off, I'm gonna give you guys a fun fact. Did you guys know she's actually behind the furry animation of Die Young years and years ago? I don't know why, but watching it actually makes me feel nostalgic, like I'm in those early 2010s where furries were kind of rare, but they were kind of interesting yet hated fandom. Now they're kind of big and like fandom, but they still have their problems, much more problems. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, well, then like it, duh. If you don't, then that's like, just dislike it and tell me what could be improved. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Because I usually talk about random topics and I do animation. Subscribe, because, well, I do videos talking about stuff and I animate every now and then. Anyhow, though, have a good day and see you all next time. Ciao.